Let's go! Let's go! We're on the road here today on this edition of SPiTBALLiN, and oh my God, what a great NFL weekend. It is one for the ages. The annals of history will show that this past weekend, the NFL had their best, most competitive, compelling, any kind of adjective you'd like to use, ever. I'm your host, Dollar Bill, in this other edition of SPiTBALLiN, and you can find us on TikTok, on the Let's Go Network, and YouTube, and Twitter, and Facebook, and all that good stuff. Where do we even begin? It's almost unfair to do a whole one show on all four games. It just doesn't make much common sense. So I might have to break this down. I mean, what's the game that's fresh in everyone's minds, right? Obviously, it's Buffalo and Kansas City. 25 points in the last 1 minute and 54 seconds of regulation. Set all kinds of records. Buffalo should have won that game twice. They certainly should have won it once, but they certainly should have won it twice. And all the talk today is, it's terrible. The overtime rules, they're terrible. They need to be changed. But really? It's been this same way for a long time. And back in the day, it was flip a coin, and all you have to do is kick a field goal and win. You gave up a touchdown. And let's be honest here. Let's call this out right now and cut the BS, okay? Buffalo Bills lost that game because they were outcoached, and they were basically playing stupid and forgot about common sense, okay? 13 seconds remain on the clock. And, you kick the ball through the end zone, you give Mahomes 2 plays. He's got 2 timeouts. He's got a big-legged kicker. He's got 2 plays to go 40 yards. Now, improbable as that might be, maybe that's 1 in 10, 1 in 12, whatever it was, what did they do? Tyreek hit him right down the middle. He took what the defense gave him. Got about 19 in the first play. Got him up to near the 45-yard line. Now you're thinking, hey, this is a possibility. You got 8 seconds. And, you only need 15 yards here, give or take. Not even that much. You got a real shot if you get 10. 15, you're in business. And a little more than that, you're even better than that. And you see Kelsey move to the outside to get one-on-one. Where do you think the ball's going? Does a coach not see this? He's got to see what's going on here. Are you kidding me? Totally ridiculous. Everything had to happen correctly for the Bills to lose that game and whatnot. But let's go back down to coaching, okay? Make some common sense here, okay? You gave him 2 plays, but you gave him 25 yards for no apparent reason. Make him earn the 25 yards and let the time run. Kick a high kick it down to the 10-yard line, let him waste 4 seconds to try and advance the ball. To get it, let's say it took them 4 seconds, and they get the ball up near the 30-yard line. Okay. Now you've got 9 seconds to go 35 yards. Changes the whole play call. So that 20-yard breather that Tyreek Hill had, it doesn't. That plays out. It doesn't work. Now you need a luck. Now it's just chuck and luck. Best case scenario, you hit one down the middle to, Kelsey, whoever. You call timeout with 4 seconds at midfield, 3 seconds at midfield. Now what? You got a Hail Mary. You're not going to try a 68-yarder in the cold. I don't care how big his leg is. You reduce the game to a Hail Mary as opposed to stupidity. Buffalo should really be hanging their heads this morning and not Josh Allen. Coming into the game, and I do some other shows, and I'll give these guys a shout-out. There's a Facebook group out there called True to New York Sports, True with the number 2, New York Sports. Facebook group, they got about 9,000. They do a really good job on Facebook, and they just attack all the New York stuff. And, when you got a group that big, you're going to find some knuckleheads. And going into the game, everyone was expecting Josh Allen to fold like a lawn chair. I hate to tell you, best quarterback on the field yesterday was Josh Allen. No disrespect to Patrick Mahomes, and they both played their ass off, but Josh Allen was the player of the game. Like, he won the game for him twice. They had really no running attack to speak of, and he ran like he was in like 1937 wing tee kind of stuff. Totally amazing game. Totally shake it up, give it up to Josh Allen. But, anything else that said that, they gave away, Buffalo gave the game away, blaming the number one defense. No. That's on coaching, bro. And, we'll see what happens moving forward. But, there's just so many things to get out there. I mean, there's so many thoughts thrown through my head. Was this the greatest playoff game ever? I think it's too soon to say. I think you need to let it marinate a week, a month, talk about it after the season. Was this the greatest playoff game ever? It may be close. For me, as an old guy, the best game I've ever seen before that, last night, and listen, I'm going to let it marinate because I don't want to make any rash decisions. But 1981, the San Diego Chargers, back then, the San Diego Chargers played the Miami Dolphins with Don Strock as their quarterback and lost the game at home 41-38 in 2 overtimes. And Kellen Winslow, the father, was, a Hall of Famer in his own right. Probably had the game of his life. That may have been the best back-and-forth football game I've ever seen. But, yesterday, was up there. But what I am confident to tell you right off the bat is this. Yesterday was the best playoff weekend ever. When you have 4 playoff games with 8 solid teams, and you really think that 7 or 8 teams had a real chance to get to the Super Bowl, anyone's going to earn it this year for sure. But to have 4 games come down to the buzzer, basically, really, yeah. I mean, NFL ratings got to be through the roof. Roger Goodell's got to be ecstatic. Now, this bar is set real high. And, we have 2 good games coming up this coming weekend. But listen, if you're expecting this to be as good as this week, I hate to tell you, this is as good as it gets. I'm going to predict right now, one of the games we're going to see is going to be a blowout next week. It's just going to be. It happens. But you know what? Hold your head up high. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry, Bills fans, you lost. I feel bad for those fans. I really did. Even though I had Kansas City minus the 6. And if you've been paying attention to the picks that I give you on the TikTok version of my show, we're 9-1 in the playoffs. And the only game I lost was the Bengal game. And I told you that the Bengals could win that game. But I had to pick somebody. 9-1 in the playoffs. Try and do better than that. Anyway. That's it for this edition of Common Sense or Spitballing or whatever the hell I'm doing right now. It's Spitballing, of course, on the Let's Go Network. This is Dollar Bill. Hope you enjoyed the games. We're going to go through more of that as we go along. I just got too much going in my mind right now to make common sense of it. But please, try and make some common sense out of your sports and your life. This is Dollar Bill saying bye for now.